Hai, anda bersama dengan saya, Nurul Hana Ismail, dan anda sedang menyaksikan Bisnes Alternatif. Secara saya percaya tak ramai sebenarnya majikan serta syarikat di luar sana yang mengetahui akan pentingnya mereka membuat pengesahan ke atas status pekerja-pekerja mereka serta syarikat yang mereka melakukan usaha sama. Dan bersama-sama dengan saya katakan tentang hal ini ialah Encik Mark Liao, Managing Director of Variety Intelligence Sdn Bhd. Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome.
Right, I've never actually heard of the word due diligence and also looking for disclosure and verifications among workers and also the company that they've joined venture. Right, I'm sure you are actually the first in the company because it is rarely heard of.
Yes, it is. Well, a lot of companies don't practice due diligence when in any kind of business transaction, or even when they hire people or when they work with any other businesses or venture into any kind of partnership. Due diligence is actually a standard of care that they actually exercise when they go into any kind of transactions. So let's say if they want to hire somebody, they want to make sure that they're hiring the right person, they will actually check the status of the person, whether it's for their education or for their civil criminal or for their financial status and do some reference checks.
Right. Why is this important?
Well, because due diligence, I think, for many businesses, it's important because it can minimize their risk of their business. Business fraud is very rampant out there. Employee fraud is also very rampant out there. So for many of our customers, they actually use our services to actually prevent from any potential risk.
Right, maybe you can explain a bit more. Maybe there are study cases that your company have handled and you have actually overcome, because I think they are still in a very state of mind and they were thinking, what is due diligence? How does this work in my company?
Okay. Right. Well, one of the things that we are popular for is actually fake degrees. That's one of the most popular things that come through our doors. There are cases where people who have fake degrees, and we get about 20 cases on a monthly basis, 20 fake degrees. Whether it's a local or a foreign degree, we get a lot of fake degrees. And it can be, it can happen in many ways. They can actually buy it from a degree mill, or I like to tell our clients that technology is a double-edged sword. They can actually use Photoshop and Photoshop their friend's degree and put their names in it. So we get a lot of local fake degrees that has been Photoshopped as well as the foreign ones. The other types of checks would be employment history, having a fake employment history information. Some claim that they worked for this multinational company before for many years when they were there for only a month, so we get that as well. So due diligence must be done because the integrity of the candidate is very, very important. So that's why we do it.
Now, a lot of people may have this idea, wow, this is the private investigator job. Can you maybe enlighten them?
Actually, we are not private investigators. The data that we actually fetch are actually has to be legally and publicly available. Even when we call the university, we actually get the consent of the candidate before we actually call the university. All the work that we do must be legal information. It must be publicly available. So the consent of the candidate is very important. We work in lines with the requirements of what we call PDPA, Personal Data Protection Act, which hasn't really been enforced yet in Malaysia, but we've been practicing it since we started 2.5 years ago. So that's what we do.
All right. Okay. Why do you think this kind of solution is not yet popular in Malaysia? I mean, they've done a few other countries have done it, but we're only starting. That is something worrying, actually.
Yeah, as with a lot of Malaysian companies, we are the local companies are very. I wouldn't say they're not very proactive in using our services. I guess most of our customers, about 90% of our customers are multinational companies. And with multinational companies in the US and Europe, they've got requirements for pre-employment screening or even supplier verification. They want to make sure that whoever they're investing in are verified and do not have any unscrupulous information or any kind of discrepancies when they use their services. So that's why Malaysian companies have not really been pushed to that level yet.
Right. Okay. So is merely a disclosure sufficient?
Well, a disclosure is not sufficient from my point of view, because the act of disclosure is just disclosing the information, just letting you know what we do and who I am. Yeah. It needs verification, because if you don't verify the information from the disclosure point of view, you open up a lot of areas of risk. So I could be lying about the number of clients I have, or I could be lying about
the number of experience
type of experience I have. I could be saying I have got a Harvard degree when I don't have one. So just merely a disclosure is not sufficient.
Right. So what should they do actually?
Well, I mean, a lot of clients need to verify the information. When it comes to verifying information, they need to have a proper system in place to verify the information. They need first to understand the systems and the types of processes that's needed in verifying information, and what types of information or criteria that they want to verify.
Now, this discussion has been very interesting and has given me some sort of enlightenment about due diligence, disclosure and verification. Baiklah, saudara, kita akan berhenti berehat seketika. Kita akan bercakap lebih lanjut lagi tentang ini selepas ini di Bisnes Alternatif. Jangan ke mana-mana. Bertemu kembali di Bisnes Alternatif. Kita bercakap tentang kepentingan majikan serta juga syarikat membuat pengesahan ke atas pekerja-pekerja mereka dan juga syarikat yang mereka sedang lakukan usaha sama. Dan bersama-sama dengan saya dalam percakapan hari ini ialah Mr. Mark Liao daripada Variety Intelligence Sdn Bhd. Now, just now we talk about what is due diligence all about, and an overview about the topic, right? Maybe you can tell us a bit about your company. What does your company do?
Actually, I started off as a headhunter. That's how I got into the business. As a headhunter, a lot of clients started asking me to screen the candidates. And when it came to screening candidates, there's always a conflict of interest. When it's somebody I want to hire, or I want my client to hire, I get a commission for it. Yes. Versus when I screen the person, the information that they provide, actually there's a discrepancy in it. So that created a lot of conflict for me. And I saw the potential in the business in screening, because it has to come from a third-party point of view. So I actually...
So that will be unbiased.
Exactly, it'll be unbiased. So I actually quit my headhunting business and started Variety Intelligence, formerly known as Fit Recruit. So when I started it, it was in early 2011. It was quite funny because, as with any other business, just two of us, me and another colleague of mine. And today we've got about almost 20 employees. We screened about 2,000 resumes, slightly more than 2,000 resumes a month. Wow. And we've got about 160 plus customers right now, and most of them are multinational companies. A lot of them came from referrals from our clients as well. So that's kind of like the gist of our history.
I see. Now, do you check on companies from overseas as well, from other countries than Malaysia?
Yes, we do. As we're working with multinational companies, naturally they will also hire people from abroad, whether it's Malaysia, Singapore, India, China, the US, UK. We've even got people that came from Egypt and also in the Middle East. So we do checks from all over the world.
I see. Okay, maybe you can tell us a bit what are the products that you can offer to those who are actually interested, to do checkings and due diligence on their workers, and also the companies that they want to do joint venture, maybe.
Okay. Right. Well, we have two products. One called Fit Recruit, as with the branding Fit Recruitment. So Fit Recruit actually does employment screening, and basically employment screening screens the candidates when you before you hire, or even after you've hired them. We can also do the screening for you. We call it post-employment. Then we've got another product called Fit Partner that we just launched. That product basically screens any kind of business partner. It could be your agent, it could be your supplier, it could also be your competitor. If you want to do a competitive analysis when you're tendering for a project, you might want to know more about your competitors. We can also do that screening for you.
I see.
We can also do customer screening as well, because with a lot of clients, a lot of times companies actually have payment issues with some customers, they can actually screen the client to make sure that they're financially stable and they are who they say they are.
How long does it take for you guys to actually look for, verifications, to actually come up with a report to to your clients?
Well, we consider ourselves the fastest in the market and always exceeds our clients' expectations. We take about between 2 to 5 days to actually conduct a verification.
Oh, that's fast.
That's pretty fast, especially if you're going to do checks from overseas, and if you need to do reference checks with people from all over the world. So between 2 to 5 days.
2 to 5 days.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can actually convince with them, for those who are still not convinced, or maybe, you know what, this is just a simple checking that I can do. What would you say to them?
Well, it's not really as simple as it looks. Employment screening or business partner verification, you need to understand what is it that you want to screen. So we call it a unique screening criteria. So once you understand your unique screening criteria, you just have to iron out what is it that's important to you, where are the discrepancies, and how you're going to run the checks. So that's important for our clients to know. So once they've done that, then it's easy for them to actually verify the information, where do they get the information, and then compare the notes, and then they can actually have a report.
Right. How do you actually see the awareness and amongst the companies and also the employers about due diligence in Malaysia? And is this growing?
I think it's growing. More and more customers are aware of it. I think with the government's push in integrity pledges and programs, I think it's really helping people be more aware of what's going on out there. We're also educating our clients as we go along. So I think it's growing in Malaysia.
That's good at what you're doing. Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mike. It's been an insightful discussions that you've actually provided us. Thank you so much. Pada saudara, itu sahaja masa yang kita ada. Sebelum saya akhiri, apa kata kita lihat dahulu kod ini.